and I'm currently working at Baby Consulting as an admin and administration.
Okay. So when you finish, how do you think the school's gone, first of all? What do you think of schooling these days?
I think it's okay. I think it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Like, you learn to be social and stuff at school. I think it's become more of a trend for people to say how bad school is. Obviously, what they teach you, a lot of stuff's not relevant because, all of stuff they teach you to memorize things, and then what's really the point when it's like at the tip of your thumb on your phone, you can always like see it. But yeah, I do agree that they have to be more on the creative side and help kids out, because a lot of things is just like memorizing things. And it's not really that helpful in this day and age where you can access anything or find anything out instantly.
Yeah. Do you think, from my point of view, when I look at schools, I thought they were archaic in my day and age, but everything's changing now, right? And what part of the schooling do they teach you? One, about learning, how to learn. I don't know if they teach you how to search for things on Google and stuff to find things out. And how much of it's relevant to today's jobs, because I guess it's not going to be the jobs that they used to be.
Yeah, I know. They don't teach you about learning or searching up stuff on Google, but I feel like also part of that is not about learning, but about searching stuff up. I think you kind of learn yourself as you go. But about relevancy, it's really weird because I'm in OP English, which is the path which is supposed to be the better English and stuff. But there's like the lower English, which is English communication in Australia, which is really weird because what they learn in that class, I find that it's more relevant to finding a job or to like helping you in this day and age, because they teach you like what people are looking for in an interview, what they do. And whereas in my English class we just learn about Shakespeare, and I'm not really going to use that after school.
Yeah, okay. Another sensitive question, and it doesn't really apply to me directly, so you just answer freely. How well connected do you think the young set are today with the older set? Because you've grown up. I remember, I don't know if you were 4 or 5, and I think you had an Apple computer for a Christmas present or something like that.
I didn't get my first laptop till I was like 13.
Oh, we had something when you were early, maybe it was a game or something, and I remember you asked me how to use it, and I said I have no idea, and I came back 30 minutes later and you were using it, so it's almost like it's intuitive to you. How well do you think your world and say people in my world are connected or not connected?
I don't think we're really connected at all, especially I see really often where the older generation would compare their time and ours, and they kind of judge us, which is weird because it's not the same time period. Like, nothing's the same. You can't really compare each other like that. You know what I mean? But like, we pick up technology, we're on technology all the time, and people are always saying, "Oh, why you always on your phone and stuff?" But it's literally like our generation and what's gonna be important in the future. Like, working online and stuff. Just knowing other people and getting connected online, it might be more important than knowing people in person. Especially knowing people like from across the world that more important that you wouldn't have the chance to if you just without technology, and also like having that following that really you can bring with you anywhere into any career, anything you do, and that support with everything you do. It's really good online.
Do you think some people, there's a lot of cyberbullying going on? I mean, I read about it. I don't know if it's blown up at a proportion.
I reckon there is some, but it is blown up out of proportion for sure. Like, there's not like a way, like you can just block them. Like, it's not like you have to stay there and listen to it, even if it does happen. And I think in general, like, society these days are like oversensitive about everything.
No, yeah.
So that's why it's blown out of proportion.
Yeah, it's funny what George was just saying about, there is a disconnect, because any of you watching, maybe a bit younger than me, but I remember saying exactly the same words to my parents. My father wanted me to leave school at 14 because he was a bricklayer and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do things with my mind. he couldn't figure that one out. So we've just gone another stage further with George's generation, which is interesting. He says that you can be connected to people across the world because, as you know, your brother Nathaniel sent me the 30-day challenge, and I've been blown away because people have been connected with me from America. I've been talking to them, Singapore. I've been talking to them, India. And we're having fascinating conversations about how we might do things together.
Yeah, like, well, especially for businesses, like, it's really good, and I think a lot of times the older generation don't understand how important it is. Look, going forward, how having that network online is really good for you, like your career and everything. So
Yeah. So in your age group, I know you're doing a backup for LinkedIn, but if there's somebody watching in your, let's say 15 to 18 years old, or 15 to 20, which to get connections on, what's the best platform for them? Because LinkedIn is normally older people, I guess, in business. Which one would you say is best to connect, or which two maybe?
I reckon get started on LinkedIn because especially if you're younger, you're gonna have that head start ahead of everyone else already,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get to know the older generation. And I reckon they would be impressed by you being that young and having a LinkedIn profile. Like Nathaniel said, he was at a talk once at training, and he asked people who had a recommendation on their profile, and like I think 10 people put their hand up, and then he said who had at least 2 recommendations on their LinkedIn profile. Only one of them put their hand up. That's just how easy it is to stand out on LinkedIn, especially if you're younger. I feel like it'd be easy and be really good for your career if you go heading forward. Not like in whatever you do, really, if you're going to be a teacher and stuff. But besides that, if you're not looking for like that, office job or career or whatever, I reckon like Gary Vee talks about a lot of TikToks coming up.
Yeah.
And it's really good. It's really easy to get engagement on there really fast right now. So that'd be really good to get started on. But besides that, Instagram's always a good one, but it's just a lot harder than it is before. And probably YouTube. YouTube's probably, I think the most important would be LinkedIn and YouTube, I reckon.
Yeah. And do you think people need to be careful what they post? Because in the old days on Facebook, people used to post, I'm really drunk, I'm getting slow.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm always being careful about what I post, especially with what you want to do in your future. You don't know if it's going to come back to bite you. But if you don't really care, if you just want to be you, then that's fine. I think it's fine with what you do. But for me, for example, I want to be an actor when I grow up. I have to be especially careful because it's really sensitive. People are really sensitive. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So, do you feel confident about the future and opportunities, or do you feel this change is putting a bit of pressure on? And from your own perspective initially.
I feel really confident about my future personally, just because I feel like I've always been growing up, and especially you and Nathaniel have always been talking business with me. I feel like I have a better understanding than most of the other people.
Yeah.
So that's really good, and even like your friends and stuff. Like I feel like I already have a good connection with people.